It's Your Money, sponsored by Strategic Wealth Designers.
The stock market bounced back yesterday to start the week, but took another dive today after President Trump cut off negotiations on a coronavirus aid plan. Rob Lessio joins us to look at the scenarios that are unfolding as we head toward the election. Okay, so Rob, the move today, it did kind of spook the markets, but how do we look at this? Is this going to be the probability now of a double dip recession, or could we say maybe a relief package the White House is saying isn't necessary because things with the coronavirus aren't that bad? Which way do we look at this?
I actually think it could be both. This is kind of bizarre. We've got these grown adults that have been elected to do what they're supposed to do, and they just cannot come into any type of agreement as far as the stimulus goes. Now, whether or not that puts us into the double dip recession now or whether or not it's going to be later, that remains to be seen. However, it does feel like this was like a take your ball and go home kind of moment. I'm not necessarily sure that the stimulus is dead before the election, but I do feel like that they're going to have to come to a much closer agreement before that happens.
And I don't want to just talk about stocks and money. I do want to point out that this means that people in the airline industry, a lot of them are going to be laid off because they're going to go ahead with furloughs now, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
It's tragic.
There's pain to go around here. No, there's no good upside right now for anybody, but the going forward with the election, the uncertainty on the market, how are we going to play this in terms of interest rates now? I'm seeing that the 10-year Treasury ticked up a little bit yesterday. I want to tell home buyers, what can they expect with interest rates because of these recent moves?
I think interest rates will remain at or near all-time lows. Inflation is going to be very, very real, but I feel like we're still a little bit of time away from that. We have got to figure out what's going to happen with this election. We have got to figure out what's going to happen with the coronavirus. And then at that point, we'll see exactly where the economy sits. And at that point, we'll decide, or not even decide, the nation or the economy will decide exactly how interest rates are going to rise as we go through it.
All right. And you're right about bizarre. We were going to talk about the president and COVID and the effects on the market, but that's already yesterday's news.
Yeah, that's old news.
All right.
Who knows what next week will bring?
Thanks, Rob. To learn more about this and other business-related news, go to local12.com/community.